Hello everyone, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. So today we have a Skyward Sword Randomizer weekly race, which is a 2 dungeons swordless race. And on commentary we will be joined by CJ and Pac-Man Power Ghost. And on tracking it will be Kovan and myself. So thanks everyone and have a great race.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to Skyward Sword Randomizer, where we're playing things that are a little bit unusual, as I'm sure you guys can tell from the introduction that Alka gave us here. We're playing on a 2 dungeons swordless settings today, which means that our runners will not start with the Goddess Sword, which is something quite unusual.
Be interesting to see how people will route early game, especially because caves won't be accessible for a bit.
Yeah, so
then-
like Pac just mentioned, the obvious first change is the lack of access to Waterfall Cave initially. Although there is a trick to get to the Waterfall Cave without bombs or sword, which is not in logic, but it is a thing that our runners can do. I actually don't know if Yao knows it, because I think Yao specifically mentioned the other day that he should learn it. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone knows it. I think K-Hot and Jaznix both do, but that'll remain to be seen.
Depending on our dungeons too, until we get a goddess sword, we can't actually finish them for at least for the first 3 dungeons, Skyview, Earth Temple, and LMF. Not LMF actually, sorry, just Earth Temple and Skyview. So if we get any of those, and swords are a bit hard to find, we won't be seeing our runners clear dungeons early, which would be kind of weird.
Yeah. So actually something very important to remember about swordless is that you need the goddess sword or better to complete 5 out of 6 dungeons in this game, because you have to be able to skyward strike the crest at the end of the dungeon in order to get the reward and trigger the ending flow. The exception to that rule, the 1 out of 6, is LMF, which only requires the practice sword because you don't have to strike a crest, you just have to walk out of the dungeon. So you just have to be able to beat Moldarok and then hit the time shift stone at the end of the dungeon to leave. So there's been many jokes in the community about logical second sword on the end of LMF. Although that's extremely unlikely in these settings, simply because there's so many other places swords can be. But we're going to see some use of other weapons for once. So things like the bow will be much more useful. The bombs will be more useful than usual, which isn't saying much considering they're, pretty useful anyway. But
Somehow completely forgot about hitting those things in endgame dungeons. Any predictions for our dungeons today?
my guess is going to be LMF and Cistern.
I'm just gonna predict Skyview and Cistern and hope that runners have false hope for a 1-tablet swordless seed.
Yeah, this is a 1 dungeon or 1 tablet swordless seed. What an occasion that would be. Alright, so I see Skyview's LMF, Skyview's Sandship. Some good predictions in here. Give our runners a run for their money, so to speak. What are we waiting on readying up? We're waiting on Raid Smile. One of our off restream runners is was at 98% on his copy 2 minutes ago. Oh, okay. Raid is ready. He just isn't. He forgot to go live. Good job, Raid.
speaking of a run for your money, depending on who you predict here, oh boy, at least on the restream. So everyone here is a really good runner.
An interesting. I think I'm gonna bet personally. I'm gonna bet on Jasnix. I think
Jasnix is the dark horse here. I feel like out of the four.
Yeah. I don't know. Jasnix has put up his own fight against everyone else.
Oh, I think they're all equally just as good as each other, but like his play style would be like the way that gets him like a huge win. At least in my eyes. With some of the weird stuff that he does on occasion. It seems the countdown has started.
The countdown has started, so our runners will be off here in 25 seconds.
Orphan's Great Tree again.
Again.
I feel like a lot of people have orphaned that check though.
Great Tree is one of the easy checks to orphan in a lot of cases, but it's one of those things where you just have to be aware of it and conscious. All right, our runners are off. So, what's our Fledge prediction? We're always going to get an item on Fledge. Is Fledge going to turn this into a practice sword slog, or is he going to give us something interesting?
It's a tumbleweed, I swear. It's going to happen. Tumbleweed.
The restream is so stacked that Jasnix is the dark horse. I see two people predicting key pieces. How does one finish the seed? You finish the seed by getting the Master Sword and beating your 2 required dungeons, which we will be seeing here shortly. It's just a heart piece. So nothing particularly interesting. I see Earth Temple LMF. Okay. I don't think I saw a single person predict Earth Temple today. So, Earth Temple, the dark horse of the prediction.
So it's nice they can at least finish one of their required dungeons and not have to worry about a second sword.
Yeah. I mean, statistically, they're likely to have a second sword by the time they get there, but we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see what's in the practice sword chest. Also, nice sync from KitKat in your average link here. It's just a key piece. Jasnix quickly resyncing himself with them as well.
Damn. We can all agree that doing practice sword's the quickest. When it comes to
I don't actually know if practice sword then Alan is better or not. But we'll see. So far, nothing good.
It'd be kind of strange if early Night Academy wasn't good. At least
Alright, KitKat making the selection, the only person to make the election here to get the, or to make a bit magic file here, so he's gonna be a little bit behind, but he might, make some time back here in a little bit. Alright, and I think this is the first time this is being featured on a restream, actually. There's now a second chest in the goddess statue here, courtesy of myself, shameless self-plug, that represents where you would normally get the Emerald Tablet in the vanilla game. And it just has a gold rupee for us today. Jim is going to the sky here. Interesting choice. Okay, it's an Elden start, so this actually is a good play, in my opinion.
At least for check density.
Yeah, rather than just going here. Although, if we see Yal, Jasnix, or KitKat do the Waterfall Cave dive, they can get some valuable information about sword and or bomb placements. Where were these hard containers when we were doing bingo earlier, SMH?
I know. It's disappointing.
Yeah, so Jim's going to be our first to get some hints here, so all eyes on Jim while he reads this hint very quickly. I see Midst the Desert is a Hylian shield, and that Patro has the water scale.
Interesting. So I guess the value of Skyloft 2 is kind of increased.
Oh, and
That's
an Emerald
assuming-
Tablet from Rinna.
Oh.
Very interesting. Because you're very restricted in what you can do in Farron without getting bombs, sword, or claw shots.
Does that only open up sealed grounds check?
It only opens the sealed ground check, but it does give them a hint stone.
That's true.
Jasmic's running over to village here. Gonna start with some scrapper quests here, talking to Dodo.
He must be banking the scale is on 5. Oh wait, no.
No, I don't
about,
think.
I'm talking about Yal. Sorry.
Oh, did we see 5 crystals earlier? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I like this play from Yal. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily like it though, because it's a huge gamble.
Especially for just gambling on unneeded pathing for a Skyloft 2 visit. Oof.
He just got mugged for it, so Yal getting punished a little bit here on this gamble. Jim, it looks like, just got a shield in a chest, so definitely will not be getting the Hylian shield in the middle of Lanayru Desert. Honestly, that's a good place for it, because I think that's relatively easy to path in, and I think that a shield saves more time than getting that check loses. I think I want to say that a shield probably saves close to, if not upwards of, a minute in G3. Trial Gate on Skyloft was something, and the LMF boss key is dead. Okay, so Jasnix, I totally missed Jasnix doing this. He did a dive from village down to get down here to Waterfall Cave, to come in from reverse. This is not in logic, but it is a thing he can do. I think Yao might have failed the dive and just ended up calling his Loftwing and said, I see earrings in something. And something was Sots. I didn't catch it. I think it might have been Farron Woods was Sots. Not really sure, TBH.
A shield earrings.
Oh, earrings in Woods.
Sorry, Woods. And then Mogwitov Sots. Oh, a sword. Out of logic.
Jasmix finds an out-of-logic sword in the Waterfall Cave. That's so good for him. So Jasmix knows that either another sword is going to come up or bombs are going to come up. Likely soon. Yeah, I'm having some trouble with the volcanic island here. Gymnast finding the spiral charge. All you people who betted on Yao today are quaking in their boots.
Open.
5 more crystals for Kickhot on the Paro's gift check. He's not going to turn it in. He hasn't seen the scale hint. Has he? Yeah, no, he has not seen the scale hint. Oh, and Gymnast finds the digging mitts in a French vanilla location in this place. Was that Magma Turf's Sots?
Yes. So I assume that's the mitts.
Yeah, it seems like it. So that's a really convenient place to find mitts because it lets you get to Deep Elven as well as get this check. And if this check is a bomber sword, it's pretty nice. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Kickhut didn't go for Betro on that visit. If you get crystals there, it really feels like you have to try and push 10 Betro 10 in this situation if you go back, rather than going back just for Paro.
Nice bellows and Magma Turf as well on Sandslide.
Yeah, Jim finding the bellows, which doesn't really do much for him here.
At least not now, no.
So yes, Alka pointing out that all of our runners are doing very different things. Some of it is they're starting to do the same stuff as each other now, but they're doing things in very different orders and sort of converging in Elven here. But alright, so there's the sword. So Jasmix will be the first to get his goddess sword here. It'll be very interesting to see if Jim jumps back to Farron or not. Or back to Skyloft or not. If Jim doesn't go back to Skyloft here, he won't get to 10 crystals, and he also won't get his Goddess Sword. Granted, Jazix is going to be the only person to get his Goddess Sword out of this. So Turf is sauce for either a sword or the mitts. Although the sword was mitts locked, so, you know, kind of pick your poison there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for at least Jim to decide where he wants to go after Alden, because there's so many options. Skyloft 2, Sky, a
The Bellows honestly might help him make that decision.
Just for density and
Just
Skyloft.
because it increases the Skyloft density.
Yeah.
Alright, so all 4 of our runners are going to have a shield today. Yao hitting us with the Kolak champ on his shield.
Soon to
Is that
see
the first time
Dawn.
we've seen Yao's shield even like all co-op? Through all of co-op? Jaznik's finding the useless seed chart, although I think that... Yeah, Jazz is going to save some time in turf. That is correct.
Hmm.
Rip streams? Question mark. Alright, you're now listening to Skyward Sword Radio. KitKat has picked up the Spiral Charge and Jazix has entered turf. Jim's heading up the mountain here. Let's see what he finds. Jazix finds a... Oh, I didn't see Jim get that bottle. That's a nice bottle. Alright, so Jim does find 5 more crystals. So pushing him even more towards going back to Skyloft. Be very interesting to see what he decides to do. Because Farron is a very interesting play here in this situation. If for nothing other than the fact that you can get up to 3 hints, depending on how you choose to route it. We don't currently have a projectile to get into Deep Woods logically. Which is unfortunate because that means that you have to do an RBM to get back there, but it is a thing that you can do. Alright, so hint from Jim here says, Emerald Tablet can be found at Central Skyloft, and the Farron Trial Gate has the paperweight, the Stone of Trials. Not what you, or actually that's kind of what you want to see from a hint like that.
It's not what we want to see, is the question there.
It's not what we want to see. It's what our runners definitely want to see. If this was a Skykeep seed, though.
True. But that's never going to happen, so...
Chasnix takes a death!
Oh.
Yeah, Jazix doesn't get time save as a result of that. But that death is probably the worst case scenario. Also a nice chest sink from Yellen. KitKat. Even ending with the same item animation. Jazix landing a fatal blow. So the strat with Practice Sword in this game is to rhythmically slash enemies so that you don't knock them down. Also, I didn't see what that hint was from Jim. Did you?
Elden Trial was useless, and Kikwi... I think that was Slingshot was useless. So...
Yeah, if it was the Kickweed Relic, then it's Slingshot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was...
Oh, it was Allen useless,
Oh,
one of our trackers says.
Okay. Esme picking it up, Poggers. I always get confused when I look at it.
Oh, actually, I just realized that Jim doesn't actually have the Emerald Tablet. But he does know that it's on Central Skyloft now, so he's definitely going back to Skyloft here.
Hmm.
Yao not doing the rhythmic strats here. Choosing to just spin attack instead. Nice blue rupee. Nice Monka stamina. Jasnic's not getting circles. Alright. Jim has entered the Earth Temple. I guess he's just getting this check. Oh.
Oops.
Okay. Okay, sure, Jim. Pop off, Jim.
That'll be nice for later.
It's a surprise tool that'll help us later. If our other runners don't go in here to get bombs, Jim has a huge advantage, potentially. Granted, like, I feel like that check in this settings is in Open Easy is kind of just an overworld check.
Yeah.
Especially in Seed, like, in settings like this with, like, swordless and stuff. Because if you have... If you have Goddess Sword in this situation, Jasnix might just get baited into doing Earth Temple here. Although, actually, no, like, because, well, yeah, Jasnix might get baited into doing Kisi and going deep into Earth Temple, but we have no idea where access to deeper Earth Temple is via either a beetle or a, beetle or the bow. Brain not working. I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night and then did bingo this morning.
Not very optimal.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna get just as little sleep tonight, but we'll see. I have sold my soul to the bingo this weekend. I was like, oh, Jim's not going for the cube, and then I was like, wait, this isn't cubes. I'm so used to commentating for co-op lately. Oops. Alright, so let's see what Jasnix does here. Jasnix should be pretty confident in his ability to do Kisi here to get into Earth Temple. Oh, hey, a vanilla Earth Temple key pieces. Do we have 3 of the 5 Earth Temple key pieces?
It's either
already?
2 or 3.
We have 3. Look at Jim's screen.
Shit. Let's go.
Oh no, that slingshot is dead.
Okay. There you go. I was not hallucinating.
Wait, we had 2 vanilla key pieces? Let's see. Alka, what did you roll us? Some cash.
Can't really utilize it though, unfortunately. What would make this seed really interesting is if we found it, like, I guess they already have a projectile now. Oh, but, a real projectile to get them into logical access to Earth Temple would be kind of nice. Cause then
I mean, slingshot is a real projectile and it doesn't get you access to Earth Temple.
That's true, actually. We're looking for beetle or bow then. Either the two would be nice, because then it makes it... the runner will have to make a decision if they want to go to Earth Temple or go to Farron, and like...
So I imagine that Jim's going to finish his Sky Loop here, get some more intel, and then he's kind of forced to head back to Skyloft here. This routing decision from Jim is actually going to pay off in, like, huge amounts, because he's forced to go back to Skyloft here. Jasnix has no reason to go back to Skyloft, because he has the sword, but he has the potential for the scale there, which is the really interesting thing. Jasnix is going deeper into Earth Temple after he takes a lava bath. So we got so we'll want to keep some eye on Jasnix here as he ventures into the bowels of Earth Temple and goes on a misadventure with Sir Archibald C. Eatington III. He's gonna use the keys here to get an angle to send a skyward strike at the rope. That's perfect. He missed!
Oh boy.
He didn't
That
back
looks
up
like it
far
was
enough,
on
so
the
it went too
money.
high. The angle was on the money, but he ended up being too high, it looks like. Because he didn't back up far enough to get the right vertical angle.
It's interesting that
This might be one of those things where he
really-
tries it once and just gives up. Nope, he's coming back.
He's
Alright, so
committing?
3 out of our 5 runners, four runners have dipped into Earth Temple here. I am really surprised that this many runners did it. Oh, and it looks like Kit Kat. Oh no, Kit Kat did it too. 4 out of 4 runners did it. Alright, come on, Archibald. Cooperate with. Yeah, Jasmix, please. So we'll have to see what's up with, like, Farron. This angle looks like it could be okay. Yeah.
Done it. Nice.
Very nice. Second try Keyskate, not bad. Yeah. No need to back up on that one either because it just worked out. Jim went to 15 gratitude crystals after the spiral charge rock. I believe that's both rocks.
Yes.
Did Jim talk to Dodo on his way over? I wasn't looking at his screen.
I didn't say it. If he did. Wait, how is Yao pulling ahead? Rattle? Hmm?
Finding progression in Earth Temple is always interesting. Granted, it is open Earth Temple, so, like, it's fine. But
That could also just be junk, though. We'll have
I
to
mean,
see.
whether or not Jasnix is ahead of everyone here is going to strictly depend on whether or not Earth Temple has anything and whether or not the boss key is early. If the boss key is early and the rest of the dungeon is blank, our runners may end up getting the chance to go mode the dungeon later rather than clear the whole dungeon, like Jasnix is doing. But Jasnix does get the opportunity to full clear here, which is fine. So Jasnix may not ever have to come back. It depends strictly on the position of the boss key.
More crystals.
Like, if the boss key's the last chest, then yeah, it's not faster. But if the boss key's, like, on the first chest, okay, that's 2 fetch quest items. Fetch quest temple, apparently.
Can we make it a third?
Can we find all 3 fetch quests? They're making us play fetch. The Ember
Oh my
Tablet!
god! That's busted!
Jasnix with a clear lead here. Now, as a result of that out of logic sword, that out of logic play with the waterfall cave dive might just decide this race.
Well, man, we're only
Stonks on the
20 minutes
Jasnix
in.
belief.
The dark horse. It's happening. It's happening.
I like how we're like, oh my god, Jasnix has a huge advantage, as if he's not like, as if he was out of this race from the very start. Like,
Yeah.
Jasnix is a contender for this race.
They all are.
Yeah. There's a sword on
very
Beetle.
boy.
Alright, that's 3 of the 5 swords we're gonna need this seed. Was that the second or I think it's the second Beetle item, so we'll see one more here.
Second, yes.
Let's see what it is. Just money. If it's a gold, though, that's a red rupee.
That is definitely not stonks.
Kit Kat thinking I'm a thunderhead out. Apparently. I've been told that he did early Thunderhead. If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you should join the SSR Discord and pay attention to our memes. We make good memes after races a lot of the time.
Mm.
Alka's got great taste in memes. You guys should listen to him, and that the meme is good. Pouch expansion. So 6 pouch slots for our runners here.
Still no projectile for ET access. Which is interesting.
This is going to be interesting about where the Jasnix finds the magma mitts in Earth Temple. He looks like he's going to keep them.
I mean,
Granted, he has no reason to save scum them, so. He got re-equipping the UK land. He's got to show his national pride. Jasnix goes around the outside of the Earth Temple loop here, checking the last 2 checks. Jim gonna sweep up for Malara. Has Jim still not checked Brenna?
I
don't see it on his tracker. I guess I can check his stream tracker. He's not. Oh, he does have it. Okay.
So there's the
According
boss
to
key.
GSR. So boss key's on left side of bridge. So yeah, Jasnix saves a lot of time doing Earth Temple now, pretty much, irrespective of the fact that he got Amber Tablet. That boss key placement is late enough that it doesn't matter.
Out of logic crystals too. Earth Temple's kind of stacked.
Yeah, stacked Earth Temple today, it seems.
I think Esme is on the money that projectile that opens up Earth Temple's probably going to be invariant.
I mean, it can't be in L or Lanayru. It could be in, like, Summit somehow, but that'd be a miracle. I can't wait to find out that the scale is actually completely dead and on Patrol 50.
Where was 5 shield earrings again?
We don't have them.
That was hinted, wasn't it?
Oh, earrings are in woods, yeah. According to, chat reminding me.
That's something that Jasnix kind of
So
needs to...
got eyes on him here. Central is Sots, but not for Emerald.
What did we get in the Central?
Oh, a sword. That's interesting if it is the sword. So that's not the logic. It could be the logical second sword because I guess that would require very specific things about projectiles to be true. Kit, please.
Bat 30 on... What was Beetle? Bat 30?
Beetle was on Bat 10, I think.
Ah, then Scale's locked a little later then. Interesting.
Yeah, Scale's on 30, 40, or 50.
So there's our access to Earth Temple. It was actually super early in Logic. Isn't that Sphere 0?
What is Sphere 0?
Patro 10.
Oh, yeah.
That would make Earth Temple Sphere 1.
It depends on how Logic treats loose crystals. I don't actually know, like, truly how it treats loose crystals. I think it's a Sphere 0 chat. Actually, it's not Sphere 0 in Swordless because you don't have access to 11 crystals.
Oh, true, actually. It'll be interesting to see where Jaznix goes from here, since he has so many
Yeah.
options at this
Jaznix,
point.
I would not be surprised to see Jaznix go to LMF, but I would also not be surprised to see him go to Farron here, because Farron has a lot more knowledge to be gained. Alright, so Yal now has the most upgraded sword. Actually, Yal and Jim both have the most upgraded swords now. Because they'll both have swords here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Jaznix? I don't know what he did to Scaldi there. I wonder if he's going to go for the D-God strat and try and... No, there's no reason to. Alright, so Kikot is the last of our runners to find his goddess sword. And Jim and Yal are headed back to the sky. Yal just headed back here with a dive back to village to go clean up a little bit more. Jazz is really being trolled by the meatball. How is he not dead yet? Okay, he's dead now.
Okay.
Get got, meatball.
Interesting that Jim's gone to Farron. What's he got? He has
I mean, he
beaten-
doesn't really have any other options other than Earth Temple here, and he doesn't know that Earth Temple is good.
Yeah, but it's your dungeon though. Like, you should prioritize your dungeons if you could, like, full clear.
Yeah. And as Alka's pointing out in the chat, he probably wants earrings so that he can one-trip what's left of Eldin. But
I guess
also,
that's
like,
true.
the hint knowledge, in my opinion, is too strong to pass up in this situation. Because you could just find, like, an Earth Temple Baron. Actually, you can't find an Earth Temple Baron hint. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. You literally
That
could
is
not find
required,
Earth
though.
Temple Baron, considering that there was a bomb bag in there.
There's a sword there on the sealed grounds check.
Fourth sword. Oh, God, this is going to be a jet seed.
4 swords? 4 swords?
Guys, this is the 4th sword adventure or something. 2 crystal packs in Earth Temple, by the way, I think.
Yes.
Chest atop of Sandy Treat is a red rupee, and turf is double
Off again.
size. No, Jim got bombs in Earth Temple. He cannot find an Earth Temple Baron hint.
Turf having mitts and bellows.
Made to a sword. And bellows.
So maybe the second dig spot actually has something.
We saw all of turf already.
I mean, no, the dig spot in Volcano Summit, that's what I meant.
Mids is sots for bellows and the sword access.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Which is the
Jim
logical
going-
first sword.
Jim going for this rope
Far.
trick.
He really likes this trick for some reason.
It gives you...
I don't know
Really,
why
I
he's
like
doing
that.
it here.
Oh, you failed.
Also, myth sots for bomb bag. It's also that easy. The other myths were in Earth Temple and bomb bag or hook beetle locked.
Yeah, what am I saying?
So if we find hook beetle, like, if they're not bomb locked anymore. Are they? Wait, that might be the one check you can't do without no, you can do that check with hook beetle, I'm pretty sure.
Mayhaps third time's charm? No. Alright, he's elected to skip it. I'm not really sure, to be honest, why he's doing that. I guess it's slightly faster if you're skipping Marchi, but he wouldn't want to do it to go get access.
Yeah, I don't
to
know
money.
why he would do it in this order. This order just doesn't really make sense.
Like, if you wanted to prioritize the lake, I could see you doing it, but like, I don't know. There's earrings. Nice. You know that Scale is just locked behind Betrow, so like going for early Floria probably isn't the right play, in my opinion. Unless you really want the hint. I mean, for all we know, it could be bottlenecked by a lack of crystals. There's the cage. So that makes grabbing the 300 item a little easier. Getting an extra 5 crystals. Also giving you another check. Hmm. I'm selecting to go to lake first instead of deep woods.
Between the beetle and the sword upgrades is the spiral charge. The icon is the bird statuette, which is what you get when you win the wing ceremony. Alright, Jin gonna use the beetle here to pick up a gold rupee for some hot cash money. I guess Jim's thought process behind doing Rope Floria here was that he wants to go back to that. I didn't see what that first check or what either of those hints were. I saw that was a weirdly formatted hint.
Yeah, it was Dodo, I think it was useless, and then whatever the second one was, it was a gold rupee, I think for the Linear trial. I don't know.
Was dang. Alright, so all 4 trials are dead, I'm pretty sure.
Sheesh. Seven pouch slots? Where was that in our bingo race? Jeez. Levias?
Or more race. So it looks like Jaznix might not get a chance to skip out on Farron. If he does end up skipping out on Farron, he might get punished for it, actually. If he has to go, like, sword hunting in the last sword of somewhere awful, like Sandsea or something.
I think it's a bit hard to justify going to Farron if you're Jaznix there. Just because he has access.
Exclusively on what he's, like, chasing here. If he's chasing, like, knowledge, then he chases Farron, I think.
Hmm.
But if he wants to strictly push hard on progression, then he goes to Lineru.
Definitely. I guess it comes down to what you value as a runner at this point.
Yeah. Wait, was that a sword on... Bro.
Where did you see the sword?
There's a sword on Nehru's wisdom, I think.
Oh.
Is that all 6 swords found?
For a swordless seed, that didn't really feel like it.
Oh, it's 5, okay. Oh, I thought Jasix had longsword, that's why I was really confused. I forgot that his color palette makes Goddess Sword look like longsword for some reason. This Jasnix is a doofus. He's a bingus. It's casino time. Yep. Although we need Whip or another beetle still. I guess Jasnix could do the stupid new, or I guess anyone for that matter could do the stupid new LMF first room skip.
I mean, if Harp is there, you could really clear this seed at like the hour mark. Like the hour 10 mark, maybe, actually.
If Jasnix happens to happens to go to Lineru and Harp happens to be there, and happens to be a good LMF, he could be in go mode, or he could sub-hour this seed. And then we see the problem with these settings.
The F Temple Sots is probably the tablet. We didn't see that get hinted.
Yeah, no. Their Temple Sots is probably the tablet, you are correct. So it's really interesting because I think this is going to push some of our runners back to Earth Temple earlier than they maybe would have liked. Jasnix choosing to sit. But everything's fine and dandy.
Keep being the
Also,
first
yes.
to have Master Sword. Yeah.
Yeah, Early Thunderhead paying off a lot here for KitKat because he's the first to get Master Sword.
We'll see if he can capitalize on it. I don't know, with the items that he has, I would be inclined to just rush dungeons at this point if I was KitKat. And just
Yeah, KitKat is definitely incentivized to push dungeons here a little bit, but I think he wants the knowledge. Because he doesn't know where the Lineru tablet is. But as soon as he sees that Earth Temple Sots, he might just go start pushing Earth Temple. I am curious to see where Jasnix elects to go here, because... like, he's ahead by, like, a full Earth Temple. But, like, KitKat has a couple miscellaneous advantages with having Master Sword already, and, like... Thunderhead open already. Like, there's a lot going on here. But Jim is back in Earth Temple. I just noticed.
Hmm.
Let's see if Jim chooses to keep these mod limits. I assume he will. He does not seem to be reaching for his console to hit the reset button. Yeah. What hintstone was Earth Temple Sods on?
Shit.
Oh, okay, yeah, then it doesn't matter. I thought it was on a... It was bot locked in some way.
Looks like Yao's elected to go into Earth Temple now. And I assume Kit Kat will follow. Although with him getting this 300 rupees, I think he might be going for bet 40. Ooh, Jasnix is electing to go to Lanayru.
Yeah, I think that this is the right play from Jasnix's perspective if he wants to push finishing the game. Which, you know, I think you always want to do. But on the contrary, the knowledge you get from the hints really does help you finish the game faster. So, we know that the hints in Farron aren't particularly helpful.
At least for Jasnix.
Yeah, at least for Jasnix. Even for the other runners, they weren't that useful. Like, Earth Temple Sots isn't as useful as it seems because of the bomb placement, as chat has made me realize.
True.
Yeah, Jasnix is definitely pushing an advantage here. The question is, like, does he assume that no one else did the dive? Or does he assume that no one else, like, because Kit Kat could have gotten a beetle and done all of Earth. I guess he couldn't have finished Earth Temple, which is a big deal.
Mm.
If you didn't have, like, you could have gotten a beetle before going to Elden for the first time. So Keyseed is not necessarily forced to do Earth Temple early. There was a 5-pack on, there were 2 5-packs, in fact. Because Kit Kat had 10 crystals when he went after he turned in Pero, and then just didn't get the Elden. And then just didn't do it before he dipped out to Elden.
In a world where you do Skyloft too early, that's the best play if you've got 10 crystals.
In a world, like, I think that Kit Kat not doing Betro 5 and 10 after he got 5 crystals from Pero before going to Elden is strictly a mistake. Granted, we're blessed with the knowledge of hindsight. But in a lot of seeds, it's not actually going to cost you that much. But I think the average value of it is way higher. Also, Kick Out missing Kisi. Or not Kisi. Boko Yeet.
I feel like if you're going to push for Skyloft 2, you may as well push for those advantages. Otherwise, you're just better off going to early surface. I don't really see the point in doing it if you're not going to full clear what you can do. At least that's my thinking process. It just adds more trips to Skyloft at that point. That silver rupee kind of baited me there.
Aztecs ever turn in Colin's letter? Was it Colin's letter or Horned Colossus Beetle that we got in Earth Temple?
Earth Temple had Colin's letter.
Colin's letter and Baby Rattle, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have not misremembering.
The cage was in Farron. The bomb locked chest.
Okay. I'm not surprised we haven't seen anyone turn that in yet. What I am surprised is that all 4 of our runners did bomb throw Beetle.
I mean, it's not that hard.
I'm just surprised that all 4 of them were willing to take that logic break. I guess that they had the money for it.
It's a good time to go out of logic, at least for check density with that amount of cash.
Yeah.
It's hard to say if Harp being an LMF is the best case for Jasnix here. Because depending on where he wants to go to find his sword, that might put him in a bottleneck. Well, not a bottleneck, but
Jasnix is in a
time.
really potentially bad situation here.
I could see a world where if Scale locked it, Jasnix would be fine. So I don't think the other runners are going to pursue Scale before going into LMF. I mean, Jim doesn't have a way to get to the statue, so it's the right play to save Scummin if you can. Is it bottom? He does. Those crystals. Ooh. So we can full clear Patron now with that. I don't see a world where he saves Scums. But we'll get to see what at least the second volcano summit will be.
How many crystals did he find? Did he find 1 or 2?
He found
Crystal
2.
Yeah, I think 1 crystals you potentially save Scum, but not 2. Claw
his
shots are
claw
on
shots?
50!
Yo! He's insane!
Definitely not save Scum in those now.
Hell no. Dig Spot was useless. That was not a logical progression of sorts. It's interesting that it locked Colossus behind bat 50.
Also, yeah, that forces scale on 40. Very
Ah.
important note.
Hmm.
Guys, chat. It is not a D.
It's a D.
The key
I'm
is not
sorry.
a D.
Harp on Great Tree. Pause champ. Great Tree back at it again. It'd be really funny if it was.
Honestly, if Harp is in, like, somewhere claw-locked, Jasnix is in a really bad position here. Like, Jasnix is... Holy brain melt moment. Give me a second to compose myself and make that sentence not garbled gibberish.
I don't know. If Harp's in LMF, Jim isn't really in a better spot than Jasnix. It all depends where this Harp is.
I am composed and ready to speak somewhat normally. Alright. No, apparently I'm not. Jasnix's early advantage is looking like it might be his downfall, is what I was trying to say. If Jasnix finds Harp, this is big. But if, like...
At least you'll get the hint for completing LMF too.
Yeah. I don't think completing LMF... Well, he can't complete LMF. Does he? Or does he have Hook Beetle?
Oh, he can't, my bad.
Yeah, he can't do anything else.
Oh boy.
Did Jim finish Earth Temple? Yes, he did.
He has Boss Key, so I assume so.
I don't think Jasnix does the hot new LMF tech here.
It's hard to justify when there's 2 items left. At least in his perspective. But at the same time...
You only do that in go mode. There's no chance you do that any other time. Wow, that bomb rolled really far. I cannot believe that didn't explode sooner. I love not knowing how long the bomb fuse is. Jim is indeed going to be the second player to get the Master Sword here. Jasnix is now really lagging behind on swords. And if Jasnix, like, doesn't get something out of Lanayru here, I think he's probably bled away most of his advantage. Again, it will depend on if people go to,
Leo Lanayru. It is a check dense area, so I can't say it's the easiest thing to pass on.
Yeah, it could just be Harp and, like, Shed Chest or something, or Bird's Nest.
Your early Bird's Nest.
Imagine early Bird's Nest being the magic for this scene.
Hey man, I love it. Best trick in the game. No bias.
Oh, apparently Sansi is Baron. I didn't see that hint.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I totally didn't see it, but that's besides the point.
Yeah,
Call
I should
Combat
call it
50
out.
was the thing. Was the important thing.
Mm.
Jasnix, what are you doing?
Just
Why don't you
pick it up.
Just pick it up, Jasnix.
Who cares if you lose some hearts? You need a damage abuse anyway. Bro.
Yeah, it could be a beetle on Central Skyloft for that. It could be bait. Jasnix.
There you go. I didn't know you could stand there. Interesting. Oof. That's the worst place to get hearts.
Yeah.
So it looks like Jim won't need to collect any loose crystals, which is nice.
Oh my god, chat, it's not a D. The stub is too short. It's more of an A that someone forgot to finish or something.
D.
Yeah, I can see the keyhole vaguely resembling a D, but not the key. Not a chance.
It looks like Jim will be the first to collect their claw shots and scale.
Yeah, so Jim might resolve, or Jim should resolve the central Skyloft slots here. If it's, alright, so Jazzix is going to head to Farron here. So, lagging behind a little bit in this department, but he will get his white sword. But... yeah, this is kind of a happy 1 hour. This is a cool sieve. As dumb and jet as it is. I can't decide if I'm glad or sad that I'm not racing.
I'm a bit torn.
Alright, so Jim's gonna check out bat 30. Because he hasn't already done that. Alright, so Jaznix now is his white sword. Alright, so Jim has scale and claws now, right? I didn't see him get them, I just saw him doing the 30.
Yeah. Got him, yeah. And it looks like Yal's gonna do the same. Looks like bit saving onto Skyloft to get access to it. I find it odd that Jim's prioritizing the village checks over the central checks. ET sites was, I don't know, it was most likely solved, but I can eat my words if this is the half.
I think Jaznix turned this in already.
Okay, there's wisdom.
I don't know if he did or not. He did. Jaznix turned in rattle, but not letter.
Alright, let's see what's in shed chest. Nice, he didn't bonk. Oh, it's Hooked Beetle. That now gives us access to LMF.
Yeah.
That's probably the starts, yeah.
Yeah.
And my headphones died. Hookers.
Rip?
Yes, only
Yeah,
Harp is required.
Yeah, we're only missing Harp now. But it could be anywhere. We don't really have any knowledge about it. There's a couple of hint stones left, and hopefully one of them will help us. So all eyes on Yal here. That's Ballad, and I think that was Mines is dead.
Yeah.
Ballad is on Spirit Crystals. Is that a What is that?
Was that a Rupor?
Was that the
I have the
caves key?
Was that a key?
Because Sansi is dead.
That's true, actually. But the hint, though. The hint! He's throwing.
Him throwing.
Yo, shipyard hint. It might have the harp location.
That's so true. I don't think anyone's going to Baron Sansi for that hint stone, though.
God, no.
You'd literally have to be insane.
All it takes is
Like,
one
I
hint
would
stone.
only do that as a last resort if I have a 50-50 between two unknown trials.
Remember when I had the trial hint? Yo, fire shield earrings on Elden Trial?
That is the caves key, I think.
Yes, it is the caves key. So it looks like we'll be orphaning that hint stone.
Let's hope that
Okay.
there's something good on it so that we can laugh at our runners later.
Yes.
Although it can't be a trial hint, so... It'd be hilarious if it was the harp item hint. Oh, it was mines that were dead, okay. I think I might have said that and not internalized it, so I'm gonna...
Yeah, you definitely said it.
I thought I said caves. I am... barely functioning. I might need more caffeine after this.
Levias has harp.
Oh no!
I mean,
Alan actually dead this time.
Ballad is late enough that that would make sense. That actually might be it. It's weird that
There's
it's
so
there.
many... Actually, I guess if it's not LMF, then like, yeah, maybe. That's the only circumstance I can see that being the case.
At this point, it's probably going to be a claw shots, locked check, or LMF. I guess that's really a 50-50 anyway. Unless it's scale locked here.
No, we have all of LMF and Zelda's Closet and Great Tree, the scale locked items in Floria, which is technically all of them, so that's a terrible way to nomenclature that, but... we have the 3 claw shot locked checks in LMF, or Lanayru rather. Oasis, near fire node, near lightning node.
Summit.
Yeah, well, yeah, the summit chest with the hint stone.
Huh? Oh, he doesn't have scale. That's right. It looks like Jim. No, that's not Jim, that's Jazz. What am I doing? I can't read. I really want to watch where all these claw shot players are going. Pick up the key. He's picking up the key! Yo.
Does Kigot know it's dead?
I don't know. He's got his hook beetle now. He's not really that behind if everyone decides to clear Lanayru.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone does Lanayru here, then it kind of levels out. But
and it looks like Jim will be the first to enter. At least try to finish. LMF. I assume you'll clear it.
yeah, no, Jazzix lost some time to doing unnecessary stuff, but that'll happen in Rando. Like, Jazzix can't really be upset about that. That's just the way his routing played out. I really wish Jazzix had his camera on today. Not that he ever does lately, but... No, Harp is our go. Well, yeah, Harp is our go mode. Just 100%.
Yes.
Yao and Jazzix also need their Master Swords, but we know where they are. I assume that Yao is electing to do overworld checks. I'm not sure why, though.
I think if he dipped now, that would be very awkward.
What is he doing? I don't know why. Oh, Jazzix can't do LMF yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have Hook Beetle. But it's likely he's going to get that very soon.
The problem is it doesn't look like it's going to be early boss key so far. Like, it's not early enough that you don't end up doing a lot of the dungeons still. Like, if you want early boss key, you want early boss key on, like, the first chest. After that, a lot of things just kind of start equaling out, and yeah, it's faster to get it earlier, but you've already committed to doing the slowest version of LMF at that point, because you don't get to do the bit warp or the RBMs. Yeah, this is basically second best scenario, but... I thought we saw an LMF BK hint.
Yes.
I don't remember what it was, but it was hinted already, I think. I don't think I wrote it down. So yeah, so boss key's in like the second or third best location it can be in this.
I thought it was Gold Rupee, but
I think it's the map, actually.
Maybe.
Guys, this is not an arrow. What is wrong with you? Chat.
What's the arrow?
They
the
think
key.
the boss key looks like an arrow.
Yeah, no, I don't see that one. Actually, that's difficult to say.
I will give in on the D before I give in on the arrow.
Yeah.
Context is very important to that sentence.
Gotta love that one.
What we call the boss keys is now gonna be like the next civil war in the community. That's a whip.
Whip's been there the whole time. Damn.
Pippet giving up his whip.
They potentially had access to LMF a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So if
Jazzix
Harp
not choosing to not
here,
turn in.
they kind of.
Jazzix could have not worried. Like, if Harp is in LMF, you didn't need claw shots this scene. Or scale, for that matter.
Yeah.
If Jazzix had turned in letter and gotten whip, like, he's probably done.
Assuming that it is here.
Although he wouldn't have gotten the Sand Sea Baron hit, but he would have had the Key or the Claws. It's hard to say. I meant scale more than anything else. I did correct it. I meant scale. For the Hook Beetle. Plus, Whip is still slightly faster than the Hook Beetle strat. I don't know, actually. I didn't see it, personally. Song of the Hero.
No claws.
You don't like the Kolok Champ Shield? The Kolok Champ Shield is the best shield. That in UK land, but...
If I ever do custom textures, I'm putting the pack what on my shield.
The what?
Oh, I have an emote that's like Pac-Man.
Oh, pack what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yao did a lot of the... Well, we knew how to modify textures early on because we could do it with Belvin. But... he's the one who, like, made all the resources for, putting it on console. And so Jazzix is gonna get his claw shots here, it looks like. It's looking more and more likely, which is hilarious. And also terrifying.
Very. Vice was open very early.
Well, we still don't have Ballad. We know where it is. It's locked behind bat 50.
True. Jasnik's finally getting.
We gotta
his
hit that Samsey was dead. Yes. Levias is not in Samsey. Levias is in the Thunderhead. I'm honestly surprised that no one checked Zelda's Closet. I don't like orphaning that check personally, but when claws are on bat 50, it's a really awkward check to orphan. Or to not orphan, because you have no other reasons to go back to Skyloft. Or to Academy region. Also, Jazzix doesn't know where the last sword is. So, even if he finds Harp, he's not going to play like he's in go mode. I mean, ultimately, it depends on where you're pathing to after Academy. Like, if you're going to Farron, that 15 seconds turns into, like, another 15 seconds, or, like 8 to 10 seconds of flying afterwards. And then turns into, you know, running to the nearest thing, doing a loading zone manipulation. Jazz is the one currently who's disincentivized from going back because of having turned in letter already. I don't know why you would turn in letter when you know claw shots are on 50. Like, you should try and combine the two. I guess if he knew that there was a crystal pack on Beetle. There's just a lot of, like, ifs at this point.
LMF not looking so good. It's the same item reward. So it is objectively slower to go for that. If you like watching Skyward Sword Rando Runs. You should join the Discord.
You should join the Discord. You should follow all these runners. You should follow, all our trackers. Although our comms and our trackers. Although Alka doesn't do runs yet. TM.
There used to be a lot of activity recently.
Yeah, we're preparing for our next major tournament as our co-op tournament wraps up here. So, very exciting time to be in the Skyward Sword Randomizer community. Also a great time to get into racing if you're interested in it yourself, like interested in playing yourself. There's a lot of people playing, which means there's a lot of opportunity to see what people do and how they play and learn how to make better decisions and that kind of stuff. So, the community is very welcoming. Don't be afraid to come in, ask questions, learn. In fact, two of our newest runners, Mr. Mario and Melrose, one of which is playing today off Restream, are actually, or were, I should say, spoiler alert, cry, in the running to win their first tournament that they ever played in the co-op tournament. So, very exciting time to be in the community. A lot of things going on, a lot of shaking, a lot of craziness.
You're fine, Pseudo.
An LMF Baron hinted Temple of Time.
Yo!
I think I've seen that before, actually. Like, I don't remember if I saw it in a seed I played or raced on, or if I saw it in like a log I was working on with dev work. But I definitely saw it at some point.
I was either in a race, or I watched a race and that was the thing.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off. Be interesting if this
so
was Vanilla Harp.
Vanilla Harp would be pretty cool, actually. Vanilla Harp puts Jim in go mode at the 122x mark. I really like how earlier we were like, Jasnix fans are stonks. But now it's like Jasnix fans are quaking in their boots.
Seems the effects of the Dark Horse have, I guess, failed.
It is not a Vanilla Harp.
Well, that's kind of good, at least for Jasnix anyway.
It's good for keeping people in the race, but we're running out of places for things to be. We've got like Levias, Zelda's Closet. I think that very well might be Vanilla TMS!
Yo! Wait, that means swords were sots.
Swords were sots all along!
Gaming.
Yeah, Great Tree and Lake Floria as well. Good catch, chat. I didn't see what the second hint was.
It was something Baron, I think.
Oh, Caves Baron.
Yo.
Everything except Lene Remain was hinted dead, and I think Lene Remain is also Baron.
It was probably on the,
I wonder if LMF and Desert are also Baron. Like, that almost exclusive, like, almost completely certifies that the Linear tablet was the last placed item. It could not have been placed much earlier than the very last progress item place. Satsu's Spirit of the Sword, it is our equivalent of Way of the Hero, if you're familiar with OOT. But what it means is that it's an item that the game thinks is required to beat the game, logically. Basically, if the game took away that item, it thinks you can't beat the seed.
Hit the one here.
He's going through LMF. You know, I have thought about this before. This is really good if you know that Boss Key is dead and need to potentially backtrack through East Wing. Because this lets you just go back through East Wing after getting shortcut chest. I actually think, like, I don't know that I've seen this very often, but I think this is a really strong play from Kid. I don't know what was in East Wing. Okay, I guess nothing was in East Wing. But... So yeah, Jaznix is kind of being given a chance to catch up here.
And there is Harp.
Where was it?
In the West Wing.
Oh, did Jim not do the West Wing?
No. Oh boy.
Oh no, that's really bad for Jim. Yala's still missing his sword, so he's not quite in go mode. But if he doesn't do early Thunderhead, he might flounder for a little bit here.
It looks
doing
like
a couple orphan checks.
Looks like Kitcott might take the win here.
Yeah, Kitcott, if he checks West Wing.
Oh boy.
Wrecked by LMF 2 races in a row. Yeah. Jim losing 15 minutes to LMF Boss Key. Jim losing a race to East Wing. Insert like the handshake meme. Harp is in East Wing of LMF.
Oops, I'm getting confused between East and West.
East is the key-locked wing. Wait, is it East or West? It's the key-locked wing, which is the East Wing. East? I thought you said West. Why are these runners collectively getting better treasure RNG than I got for like literally 20 minutes I was treasure hunting in Bingo?
Oh boy. The salt. It's still there.
Which, where was the, small key? No, key locked is East. All you have to do is pause the game and look at the map.
I have no idea where the key is.
I mean, you get the map by opening, like, just by walking through the dungeon. Like, you don't have to have the full map to know that. Like, the game always orients it so that north is up.
I'm interested to see how other runners are doing off restream.
Yeah, it's totally possible that we see an off restream snipe, but... I mean, you can always just look at the tracker and see which is key locked. It's just encouraging people to use their my tracker, Smile. Alright, Kit taking a death here to get out, and Kit is officially in go mode. Well, actually not yet, he has to beat the dungeon, but... He's in go mode. We consider this go mode for all intents and purposes.
Hmm.
First rule of UK land, don't talk about UK land or something.
Oh boy.
See, yeah, Jaznix kinda lost this race to not turning in letter.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jaznix turned in letter, he would have full cleared LMF, which is not Baron, by the way. But he would have gotten Harp, presumably, assuming he doesn't orphan East Wing like Jim did. I wonder if opening the gate and like letting the minecart come around rather than bit warping to get back to front of the dungeon is actually faster. Someone's gonna have to time that.
That's a hard one.
It's gonna be pretty close. The bit warp is probably about 1.5 minutes, if that. If you have a bit magic file, it's probably closer to like 70 seconds or so, would be my guess. If you don't have a bit magic file, it's definitely about 90 seconds or so. Would be my guess.
Surely this is the point where Jim goes back after checking all of Laneru.
Oh, he was first crawl space. It could be in a worse position because you can always just bail and go back to East Wing via the door right here, like it looks like Jazzik's about to do. Yes, like you can always bail and go back this way with that one. So this isn't the worst small key location. Worst small key location is probably second crawl space, because you can't justify going back at that point. I would say shortcut, but usually by the time you reach shortcut, you know that it's gonna be the small key, and you can do prep, and like you can prep for it because you know that it's gonna be there. So Jazzix is gonna be the next to get its harp. So it's gonna be a race between Yao and Jazz to see who figures out where their sword is first. My guess is that the hintstone in Shipyard is like Levias has a heart piece and Thunderhead as thoughts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or that there's a sword in Thunderhead, one of the two. 2D Swordless is the name of this mode we're playing. 2 required dungeons, and the quirk of the settings is that it's swordless. Well, swordless start, more accurately. Kid's shaking his head. Dude, it's an hour and a half seat, kid. Stop complaining. Also, we didn't roast Kit nearly enough in these comms, Pack.
No, it was kind of just not highlighted, if I'm being honest, until now.
He didn't do anything egregiously terrible, really.
No, and he was kind of just like
vibing,
backtracking other players. So, other than doing an early Skyloft 2,
the early Thunderhead play really paid off for him here.
Oh yeah. That too as well. There's Bo. Interesting.
Bo on ballad check, dang.
Locking a projectile.
That he was forgettable. I don't know, because at the same time, being forgettable in a rando race means that you were trailing other people, and turning that into a win is a huge deal. Alright, Jim's going back for East Wing, so Jim should be our second place finisher here. Yeah, I don't think anyone on Restream is going to get TMS. Actually, I think the later the runner is a place-wise, that the later, or the more likely they are to get TMS. I don't know, like, even knowing that TMS is there, if you're feeling under pressure, you might not get it, because that's like a free 60 seconds to save. Or so. I thought someone timed it and it was like 60 seconds. Because you have the long talk with Impa, The cutscene and the cutscene skip and the loads on both sides of it, which is like probably 15 seconds in loads alone. Although I'm probably over exaggerating, but loads in this game are kind of terrible. Although actually we get to the opening cutscenes of the game in like 20 seconds, so the cutscene loads are probably more like 3 to 4 seconds. TMS happens to be vanilla today. In this seed. This is the second seed in like a month, I think, that's been on a restream that's had vanilla TMS. And I think I calmed both of them.
Calm curse. The swordless, where there was only 5 swords, logically accessible.
Vanilla key pieces too.
True.
Don't forget the vanilla key pieces. So yeah, it looks like Yao's gonna get debated into doing the rest of the seed, pretty much. Here. Although when he sees KitKat's finish, he might be able to metagame and know that it's Thunderhead, because he knows how much Kit likes early Thunderhead. Kit showing off with unbuffered break slides. I'm losing like 3,000 points today. Why are people sad?
I didn't even bet today. It was too hard to decide. Love sometimes hits.
Pretty damn simple as that, in it.
Wretched brat. A little bit late on that one, but that's fine.
Alright, so Jim is less than an end game behind Kit, assuming he doesn't get TMS. If he gets TMS, he'll be like a phase 2 of Demise behind. Which is just about 6 to 7 minutes-ish, depending on how fast of a horde and how fast of a game. Yeah, Jim. Oh no, Jim is going for TMS. Okay.
Yo.
So Jim talked to him at like 138. Flat, pretty much. Alright, I take it back. It's not a minute. It's literally less than 20 seconds. Okay, never mind. You always get TMS in this situation. It's quite 15. But yeah, somewhere between... Give or take for loads, I'd say it's probably between 15 and 20 seconds. And you definitely save more than that on Horde. Also, GG's to Kika. Kid is so happy. Oh my god.
Look at that. Look
I
at
love that.
fucking... Oh my god.
The celebration.
The pray hands.
Oh my god. We need to get him in here for an interview. He probably wants to talk about this so badly. Alright, I'm watching for him. I'll pull him in, or Alka can pull him in, depending on when he gets here.
He's coming.
We are joined by the winner, Mr. UK Land himself.
God, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that I'm so glad this like went well.
You played you played pretty well. But it was early Thunderhead that won you the race, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, the sword. Okay, dang.
The other sword, by the way, is TMS.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Okay.
on the Temple of Time hitstone.
Oh, I was debating checking the hintstone just in case if that was the case, but I was like, nah.
Nice.
Jim is at the end of Horde right now. Jim, okay, actually, what won you the race more so than early Thunderhead is the fact that Jim abandoned East Wing. But yeah. So Jim ended up full clearing the rest of Desert after LMF before going back and getting the Harp in East Wing. But
Okay. So I more won not because I played well, but because Jim made a crucial error. Okay.
I mean, that's a rando error. I don't consider that like a shot against your performance in the race. Like, rando gonna rando.
Yeah. I was okay. My routing was how it was because I was like, I didn't want to go straight into LMF because if it was in Linearu, I'd kick myself. But I didn't want to full clear Linearu because if it was in LMF, I'd kick myself. So I kind of did like a half and half. I only did like the quick chests around LMF, and then I went straight into.
Yeah, I find that that's what people tend to do in LMF situations.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the happy middle ground, personally.
Yeah.
Also, so Jasnix was the first to clear Earth Temple. He cleared it like before the 30-minute mark or something because he got an out of logic sword and had got a sword to do Kisi.
What sword was that?
The waterfall sword. He did the dive.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, it paid off huge for him today. We thought that he had the race when he found the Amber Tablet in
Yeah.
in Earth Temple, but the sword in Farron and then Vanilla TMS really kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And then Claws on Bat 50 and Scale on 40 made this a whole piece of work.
Yeah, no, it was like, I mean, I was kind of debating if I wanted to go to either Farron or Earth Temple. I wanted to go to Farron because if I went straight to Earth Temple, I thought it would be likely that I'd be essentially orphaning Summit, which, I mean, in hindsight, like, wouldn't be a bad thing because Summit was barren, but hey, there's a world where everything was in Summit. I mean, there were crystals in Summit, I don't know how much that helped.
Crystals in Summit were kind of crucial, at least for Jim.
They definitely sped up me getting Gale and other stuff, yeah.
I think Yal just did early Thunderhead. I don't know where he did it from. I don't remember seeing him pick up Ballad. He doesn't have Ballad marked in his tracker, so I'm assuming he did early Thunderhead in Farron, but I didn't see him do it, so I don't know for sure.
It's interesting that
he was just an Elden. He was just an Elden. Never mind. I am not smart.
It's interesting that no one off stream capitalized on a whip location.
Yeah.
Did anyone find a whip? Oh yeah, people found whip.
Whip is Colin's letter.
Okay.
Letter turn in, rather.
Yeah.
Letter turn in, I should say. So,
right,
if Jasnix could have pushed an advantage and probably won had he actually turned in letter after Earth Temple.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is quite, it's a little bit, like, I found it kind of, like, inconvenient to go to Academy and do all that stuff, so I kind of just, like, I kind of just cleared the Central Skyloft source and just ran to LMF.
Yeah, I mean, that was very reasonable given the Hook Beetle there.
Yeah.
Also, GG's Jim, who has already joined us.
Hello.
How do you feel, Jim, after that seed?
Well, just didn't guess correctly on where the harp was at the end.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mm.
That was it. Everything else I thought I ended up doing pretty good. Or like the routing I did just ended up working out well.
Yeah, we did end up seeing some differences in routing because Jasnix ended up getting an out of logic sword from Cave that led to him doing Earth Temple super early, which we thought on comms ended up working out better, but it didn't in the end. But
I mean, I can imagine it working out, I guess.
I mean, on paper it should have worked out because you got Amber.
Yeah. I mean, there's the obvious danger of, like, full clearing the Nehru, but it's like, yeah. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, how close was me and Jim in general? Like, I mean, we're both on restream, so, yeah.
Fairly close. Like, you guys kept, like, a pretty healthy distance between you. But not much more than the 5 minutes that you guys finished with.
How different was, like, our routing?
Guess. Pretty similar. Most people on Restream, except for Jaznix, had fairly similar routing.
Yeah, yeah. It's like...
The biggest difference between people on Restream was Jaznix doing the waterfall cave dive and then Jim dipping out like right after Goddess statue to go to the surface.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, like, this seed would have been quite scary for me, because if Harp was in, like, Gloria, that would been unfortunate. I don't know if, like, I mean, because scale was where it was, I was just kind of like, well, I'm just gonna hope that the rest of Floria is barren, because, yeah, I know, it was unfortunate, like, where it was. But I guess it didn't really matter. I don't know, like, did anyone get scale before going to Farron/Floria?
I did not.
I don't think there was a way.
Yeah, I would be unless someone did like early Thunderhead after their first trip to Eldin and like got the crystals in Thunderhead.
I feel like
I don't think.
I feel like I remember thinking about a possibility where I could have, but I was thinking, yeah, that's just like really jank routing. I'd rather just assume that the 2 other checks are dead. Which is like, yeah. Right, yeah, the 2 packs in Summit, yeah. But no, I guess I'm quite glad that I went to Farron beforehand to get the earrings, because I feel like if I didn't do that, I would have probably been lost in Lanayru. But either way, it ended up working out.
So it looks like Jaznix is finally going to get his sword.
Yeah. Jaznix headed to Thunderhead finally, and in the Isle of Song. Oh, so I thought it was really funny that there was a Yerbil in the hash and a Yerbil Junkin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was funny, yeah. Which hint stone was that again? I've forgotten.
Fair.
That was...
Stone
I want to say it was a Farron one, yeah.
What,
just also there, okay.
What put, like, Yal and Jasnix farther behind me in KitKat?
Not doing early Thunderhead primarily.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, once I saw...
clearing the rest of Lanayru looking for swords.
Yeah, once I got the hint that, the goddess blesses you with progressive sword, I was like, oh wow, it's probably really good that I did early Thunderhead.
Yeah. Jaznix also did Lanayru's second, so he had ended up clearing a good chunk of Lanayru before you guys even had Amber Tablet. But like that didn't help. But even then, like, if he had done early Thunderhead, he'd be a lot closer.
Right, yeah. I think also, I know that I could have probably, like, I feel like I probably finished a few minutes faster, because they were, like, I mean, first of all, those Bokoblins really didn't like me in, like, Elden 1, so I kind of, like, basically, I got damage down to, like, 1 HP and was like, wait, I'm gonna lose, like, a heart going through, like, the fiery bit outside of Summit, so I kind of lost a minute there. I did notice it quickly, but still lost a minute, and I think, like, around, like, mid to late game, I was kind of, like, I was a bit trigger happy with the Skyloft shots, and I was like, you know, I don't feel like, I mean, it was more the fact that I almost forgot to do Summit, so I was like, it was kind of like a dumb fly out, wait, I need to leave just saying fly back in, which is like a few seconds, but yeah.
In the end, Summit really didn't matter.
Other than, like, the crystals, although I feel like, I mean, I honestly feel like I could have probably...
Claw shots didn't matter in the end. This was the claw shot of the seed.
Yeah, no, literally. I mean, it made stuff convenient. Like you could like skip. I mean, you would skip mine anyway, but you could like, you know what I mean? You could like go do caves would be more convenient.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know about the Temple of Time TMS hint, which I didn't get. I was even debating looking at it in case if TMS was vanilla, and I was like, nah, I'm confident in my ability to do endgame on 6 hearts, and so that was that.
Meanwhile, Yao has, I think, 10 hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. If you get the whip off Pipit crystals, you completely skip Patro this scene.
I mean, it looks like everyone, at least on Restream, got Hook Beetle anyway, so...
Yeah, everyone on Restream used Hook Beetle to get into LMF. Actually, I don't know if Jasmix ended up using Hook Beetle, because he did have a whip, but... Jasmix having a little bit of a hard time on the first barrier.
He did do the whip trick, so...
He did okay,
yeah. I mean, if I had whip, I'd probably done the whip trick as well, because it's just straight up faster.
It's faster.
Yeah.
It's just straight up faster, yeah, but I didn't have whip, so I couldn't do that.
If you did have whip, though, would you have pursued LMF earlier?
Probably, because... I mean, I guess maybe not, because there's like a 50-50 chance at that point, because it'd been like... Or like, had I got whip, I'd be like, it's either Heatle or Harp, and I'd rather it not be Harp, so I would... Honestly, I'd probably done anyway.
He missed Horde Skip.
Oh boy.
Very sad.
I don't know if Jasmix picked up a fairy or not, but he like entered Horde on 3 hearts. He did pick up a fairy. Oh, okay.
He did the whip.
Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't just like consume the fairy early on. Like, it's not like it would have lost him any health. I guess it saves side if he doesn't need it, or he can use it for the stamina refill. Alright, let's see if we can actually get a yeet from Jasnix for the Blue Boko, because we actually have TMS for once.
I think you can do the strat without TMS.
You can, it's just a lot harder. Because of the knockback distance difference.
He does have a fairy.
Yeah, he does. That fairy saved it from
Am I the only person to not get a fairy? Ever? I feel like even all the top runners get fairies.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't get fairies, KitKat. Like, that's scary as heck.
I mean, I'm just, like, confident in my ability to do Horde, because it's, like, my most practiced part of the game, minus maybe Skyloft 1 in vanilla. I mean, to be fair, I can't remember the last time I died. Okay, saying that, I'm now just gonna jinx myself. I'm gonna die at, like,
yeah, you're just gonna die in
the
you're gonna die in your next no-bit run or something.
Yeah. Or even worse, like, some point in Season 2 now.
Yeah. Imagine if you lose, like, a PB or a world record now to dying in Horde and no-bit. That'd be so sad.
Ugh, it would be.
Jesus,
anyway, we have the Yao in...
Can you hear me?
Yes.
GG's. I told you 2 dungeons was a bad idea.
What? Why was it a bad idea?
Because it just felt like... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, part of it is salt. But part of it is... But part of it is just because, like, you were, like, so close to go mode. Like, not even 40-50 minutes in. So, like, for example, your Skyloft 0 decisions could have played a part into it. Also, the sword locations made me very mad. Like, when I missed the dive and found out there was a sword in the cave, I was like, are you serious, dude?
Yep.
My point is if this were 3 dungeons, then you would at least have one more thing to do. And, like, the sword hunt wouldn't be, like, the entire second half of the seed, you know what I mean?
I mean, it wasn't really a sword hunt for me, it was a heart hunt.
Same.
Yeah.
I guess you did early Thunderhead.
Yeah, Jim and Kickoff both did early Thunderhead. Kickoff, I'm a early Thunderhead out.
See, I thought about that, but the problem is I had practiced swords, so it made no sense for me at the time that I was in Elden.
True.
I was like, I can only get East Island chest.
Yeah, I did it after
you
my
guys...
second trip to Elden, when I already had White Sword.
Yeah, so I guess that begs the question of, isn't early Thunderhead, like, is doing early Thunderhead a good play even if you don't immediately go to Thunderhead?
I mean, I'd say. I mean, okay, looking at this seed, I'd probably say so because I mean, you're gonna get swords anyway, so I think that having Thunderhead access early on. I mean, I guess doing early Thunderhead with practice sword is a bit meh because if you go in there early, you're kind of opening yourself to double dip because you'll get swords or even triple dip. But I think that having Thunderhead access as early as possible, I've noticed just as like a trend, seems to be very good.
Oh yeah, because you also get the hint stone no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really useful this seed, but
if I had done early Thunderhead, after Earth Temple, I probably still would have lost to at least KitKat. Maybe Jim still, because I still did Linear before LMF.
Yeah.
Because I only skipped finishing the rest of LMF and finding the sword stuff.
I think Jim, you did, okay, according to everyone, you did like most of LMF. Then you skipped Eastwing, then you did Linear, and then you finally went back to Eastwing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the small key was in like the second half of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Once I got the small key, I immediately went back. And I didn't want to do LMF first, specifically because it doesn't spit you back out into the desert. You
But
have
it
to
does
like
give you a hint.
you have to like fly back out.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I tend to prioritize LMF before Desert is because just straight up because LMF is a required dungeon, and like doing a full clear there is typically better than doing a full clear in Loneru Desert. But I mean, I do agree. It's a bit unfortunate. You have to kind of fly back in.
Actually, speaking of LMF, this made me think of something. Kid, have you timed opening the gate for the minecart to go backward, like to go through the shortcut wind gate back to East Wing versus just bit warping?
Oh, what or is this like doing RBMs versus bit warp?
No,
like you literally just like you opened the gate like on the main platform, right? To let the minecart go through so that you could pull it to the fledge gate. Like, have you timed that? Because I don't know if that's faster, but if it is, that's a 100% consistent way to route LMF with late small keys.
I haven't timed it. I've only ever done that because I just realized the bit warp was a thing you could do like a few days ago.
Yeah, I've always bit warped in that situation, although I try to not end up in that situation.
The one advantage not bit warping has is the fact that you don't have to go back to the statue to save, like if you got something useful in the shortcut chest.
Yeah.
That's
feel
a fair point, yeah.
I feel like opening the gate is naturally faster just because of how long it takes to do. I mean, it's like activating.
The problem is that you have to open 2 gates. Those gates are not fast. They're probably 10 seconds each.
But activating bit takes 40 seconds.
Speaking of bit, can we appreciate that I decided to pull an SGL trying to do early Thunderhead? Like I couldn't bonk the. Okay, so the first one I don't even know why the first one failed. Like I bonked it.
Oh, did you fail early Thunderhead?
I failed it twice. But I bonked
totally
the tree.
missed that.
Oh no.
I bonked the tree. I saw the rupee fall, but I didn't see the Thunderhead cutscene. I guess that lined up with the temporary flag somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And then the second time, I just rolled up the tree.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, Jaznix exists. Hello.
Hey.
Hi,
Okay,
Jazzix.
wait.
GG.
Where did I go so wrong? Like, KitKat, did you just do early Thunderhead?
Well, it's early Thunderhead and your Lineru clear.
Oh, did no one else full clear Lineru?
I did.
I did like the quick checks around it. Like
Gal did and Jim somewhat did, but like your pathing ended up just being like Jim and Kit never went back to Floria or Farron or anything like that. So.
Yeah, that was just kind of annoying because, like, Summit I wasn't gonna do Bat 50 unless I was told what it was, and so Summit having the Bat 50 just kind of locked me out of everything until I did. I full cleared all of Linear and all of Farron, then did it a second time with Claw Shots, so I guess that probably lost me a lot of time.
Yeah, not doing early Thunderhead is a chunk of what cost you, but in the end it was actually like the fact that you chased into Lineru instead of Farron early on. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was like it was an aggressive play, and it was the correct play, given your information. It just
Wait,
didn't work out.
Did he go to Lanayru instead of getting like earrings?
Yes, he did Earth Temple in the first 30 minutes because he had Goddess Sword.
So you did the dive.
Yeah,
he did the dive.
I missed the dive. God.
Also,
I even practiced that dive before starting. And then,
consider the position that you end up in if you succeed in the dive. You have the choice between the correct choice of Farron, which is less dense but more information heavy, and you know more about it, or the more dense plus a required dungeon region of Lanayru. It's not a great position to be.
Where was the earrings hint?
It was
earrings were hinted on.
I think it was
Lumpy,
like the platform.
Lumpy.
That would make sense. Okay.
I want to quickly mention how I did Skyloft 2, and I literally skipped the 2 checks that would have given me LMF access.
Yes, we actually commented on that.
And I didn't get 5 individuals, and that
I didn't even think about the fact that you could have done it with 5 individuals.
Yeah.
But yeah, not turning in letter is part of what killed you. Because you would have ended up with Harp. But the problem is that even then, you end up with Harp, and you still don't have all your swords. You still have to figure out.
I would have just
wait.
Yeah, I would have just gone back to Farron. So I probably wouldn't have done.
What was Pipit Crystals? I don't think I ever got it.
Pipit Crystals was Whip.
Oh.
Yeah, I never got it either.
Yeah, that was my original LMF access.
Jasmine was the only person who got it.
Are you familiar with the new way to get to LMF with neither Whip nor Hook Beetle?
I am not.
Okay, so I'll go through it real quickly. So you bitwarp Upper Academy in the first room. This is because you can't RBM levers when you're in the same room as them for some reason. Then you save in the statue there. Do dig spot RBM. Then you run across the entire room like towards the boss door. Check the statue near it for a commit and then leave.
And that
RBM's the lever.
Oh my gosh.
That the statue across the room is actually the fastest commit because there's nothing else there.
It's so dumb and is only important in Go mode. It would not have saved you today.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I played too bad today. I'm not really mad. I kind of am just like, I feel like more lost because I just kind of like, I was aggressive with the Lanayru play, and I think in retrospect that was a good play. It just wasn't like it didn't end up working out. Because like if that worked out, I could have been in Go mode. Like if there was, let's say, like a Whip or a Hook Beetle in Lanayru there, then I would have done LMF, and at that point I'm just looking for a sword, so there's a chance I just do early Thunderhead at some point at random, and then I like win. I was actually planning on doing early Thunderhead after leaving Summit, but I forgot.
Yeah, that's just one of the downsides of these shorter settings where
that's what I mean. That's
one decision just kind of ends your ability to win the race.
That's what I mean. Like if this were a
3-dungeon
seed, then your play there wouldn't have been punished as much. Because you'd still have a chance, because the rest of us would still need to find stuff.
That's true. I feel like it's still being punished anyway. I mean, I've had 3 dungeon seasons.
Besides the fact that mines were hinted Baron, which is like something you're always going to lose time on.
Consider the possibility that like in 2 out of 3 3-dungeon combinations, like adding 2 of the 3 remaining dungeons, all other things about this seed the same. Jasnix has a big advantage because he has Whip. Because Sandship and Cistern both make that Whip play matter.
And then if it's Fire Sanctuary, then it's even worse for him.
Yeah, but like at that point, like, you know, then it's multiple decisions that led to his time loss. It was the decision to end up turning in the letter, the decision to follow Lanayru.
Wait a minute, did everyone else get claw shots?
Yep. Yeah.
I did.
They were completely unnecessary, just for the record.
Yeah,
I mean, they allowed us to
I want to mention
how to skip mines.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd much rather not get claw shots and go through mines.
They also make
go out of the way and get claw shots to not go through mines.
They also make the east wing of LMF marginally faster because you can claw shot like right after entering.
Marginally. I think that not getting claw shots.
Okay, obviously going out of the way is slower, but given what we knew at the time, still.
You guys didn't make bad decisions with that. Not at all.
Vanilla TMS.
It's just that, like, you know,
I called vanilla TMS.
I don't think anyone called that. We were predicting Harp on Levias with the hint in Shipyard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a combination that I was thinking of. I was like, I haven't seen the Levias hint yet. It would be really bad if Harp was on Levias and the hint for that was in Shipyard, because nobody's gonna check Shipyard after the Sandsea Baron hint.
They even like ignored the.
I think 3 out of 4 of you just didn't pick up the caves key when you saw it
Yep.
either.
I picked it
Which-
up, but
Okay, two out of 4 then, because Kit and Jazzix both picked it up then. Like, it's not a bad play, but it's just funny.
It's not something I'm gonna think about. Like, I'm just gonna find it by process of elimination if it's really that bad.
Yeah, at that point, you're just gonna end up doing Levias. Although in this particular...
I just want to quickly mention how the claw shot sense was literally in Summit when you could have used claw shots to either get another hint or leave faster, and instead you had to run all the way back to Eldon without your claw shots.
I was really
Yeah.
mad. I was really mad that because I wanted to do early Thunderhead on that trip, but if I bit save out, then I'm in Summit. I don't have 2x20. It's like, but I don't
I was
want to
just-
go all the way over there.
I was gonna go to Scouts after that anyway, so I was planning on just doing early Thunderhead and bit saving, and then I just forgot to do both, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got the hint and I just, like, bit saved out of Summit.
I don't know if anybody saw, but when doing early Thunderhead, when I finally got it, just random rupees came out because I RBM'd that temporary flag as well.
Oh yeah, the rupees
That's
popping
always
out of
fun.
a dig spot.
Yeah. That's always fun when that happens.
Okay, I think that's everything for today's race. So yeah, that was the first time we did 2 dungeons for Let's Sit Down restreams. I guess the season 2 modes could have this one, right?
What was the
Well,
question?
some
My
kind
brain
of
didn't work.
it would be some kind of swordless, and there's a poll on it, and right now the swordless 2 dungeon versus 3 dungeon is very close.
We might see some people shift their votes
Yeah.
after this event or after this race, which is good. I like the idea that we're actually racing on these settings and testing them out and letting people use first-hand experience to make the decisions of how we're running tournaments and stuff.
Well, you already know
Or
how I
future
feel.
races. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting seed with a lot of vanilla things. Like these meats and bombag in Eldin were pretty
Two
strong.
French vanilla items, 2 vanilla key pieces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just on the bomb bag. Was I the first person to get the bomb bag?
Yeah.
It was just no.
It was Jim. I think it was
It was
Jim.
Jim.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like
All 4 of you dipped it. All 4 of you dipped
okay.
for the bomb.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I was hoping somebody wouldn't.
Oh wait,
Well-
was I the only one who stayed in Earth Temple?
You were the only person who had the ability to Kisi.
Yeah, because
Oh right, that goddess sword. Yeah.
Yeah, Oh yeah.
Oh wait, actually, that did remind me of something. Kit, why didn't you turn in Betro 5 and 10 in when you went back to Skyloft to turn in Para Crystal or Para's gift?
I think it was more the fact that I just wanted to get Paro because I didn't want a situation where Paro was mitts or something. It was more the fact.
Well, what happens if Betro 5 or 10 was mitts in that case? Why didn't you follow up on that?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, a Paro dip only takes like 5 seconds. Betro's a little bit longer because you're gonna have to I mean, I guess it isn't that bad, but it's like dipping for Central Skyloft just makes sense in my mind because most of those dips are like only seconds long.
See, personally, I don't like dipping Skyloft for single checks because it feels so slow. But maybe
Although in
you're onto
Swordless-
It
something.
literally lost me SGL.
In Swordless,
That's fair.
in Swordless, you at least have a reason to do the Betrothed stuff on your first visit if you got the crystals. So that might discourage a second visit, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in this, sorry. Right, I guess in this case, it kind of made more sense to do Betro because there was the off chance that it was scale, but scale was like Betro
Then I
40
got
doesn't even matter.
and it got report and tried the I realized I should have talked to iDude while I was there, but
Yeah, I do want to mention,
Came up.
like, I think just for all, like, I think the common scout route for Sword that should really just be like, I think the route I did was I just after Rina, I just went talked to Spirit, then I dove. Or okay, I tried to dive, I missed it the first time, then did the spiral tutorial skip dive. I think it's probably the best way to route it. So that's probably the way, like, you.
I think there are edge cases where you don't want to do the dive.
When I
think if
failed the
I think
dive,
if
I
you
just
find,
gave
like,
up.
I think either failing the dive or getting like claw shots with starting Lineru or like mitts with starting Elden really justifies chasing what logic wants you to do rather than gambling on.
Well,
two
also
checks.
when you get claw shots, I think you can do a much easier dive to get into Waterfall Cave.
I mean, I wasn't really worried about like the dive difficulty though, because like if you like Waterfall Cave is such an early on check that I don't feel it's like worth to skip usually. And it obviously, like for me, it worked out very well today because there was Sword in there.
I feel like you might be just getting confirmation bias because of today's success with it.
I mean, yeah, but again, it's two checks that are usually going to be early in logic, and they're pretty easy to get. Like they're not a long detour to get. You need to jump off a platform, which you're going to be jumping off anyway. So I think it's probably like in my opinion, I think it's just worth it every time because it's just two easy checks.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap us up here.
Yeah, I guess that's really everything for today. No. So yeah, we are still in the Skyward Sword Randomizer co-op tournament. Where I still have a Grand Finals match coming up, not scheduled yet, but it is a BO3, right?
Yep.
Yes, it is a best of
Yeah,
three.
we have an idea on what times it'll be. Just Mario hasn't confirmed and we haven't submitted it yet.
Okay, so yeah, and later tonight, I think in 40 minutes, we have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer NA weekly race. They are racing with new weekly settings today. They went back to Way the Hero hints instead of path temporarily, but added some things like prelude start.
Oh, that's
So,
nice. That sounds good.
yeah.
I'm a fan. Even though I don't play OOT randomizer that much.
Yeah, they did prelude start, so it makes all song pick an item instead of you have to play the song. And one of the songs is an item, so if you start since you start with ZL, it makes it able to start with one item. That's possible. So yeah, that's it for tonight. So yeah, don't think I have anything to raid. Yeah, I'll probably raid Melrose for this after this stream. So yeah, thanks everyone, and see you later. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.